Was literally here on my phone trying to double check the schedule for the games today. So the Ravens and the Chiefs, we got at 4:25 p.m. Okay, that's what I'm locking in for. I see there's a lot of games. I don't know who y'all teams are in the chat. You know, it's a typical Sunday, but nah, I'm on deck for the 4:25. I put this on record already on my gram. Some of my friends know I'm not no switch up type of guy when it comes to the NFL because I don't have a team. I'm a players guy. You know, I like storylines and I like certain moments. Like when I went to the game in February, everybody see, okay, I was chiefed out. I was going for Mahomes. I wanted to see the three-peat. I wanted to see history. I wanted to see the halftime show. Obviously they got their ass whooped. But at that moment, when that game was over, I went on the record. I said, all right, next season, I want to see Lamar. Lamar, it's your turn. I want to see you catch one. Okay. So I'm going for the Ravens this year. I want to see Lamar Jackson go ahead and get over that last hump, man. All right. So happy football Sunday for everybody that's tuned in. Yeah, today is the last day. That's it. That's it. I'm done after today. It's a wrap. Sony, I feel like I got maybe a year and a half out of that. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know. We do use these joints like every day, but a year and a half, and I feel like there was at least like maybe $300 or something like that. But yeah, next time we back, we probably gonna be with the beats, man. I gotta make some time just to connect them to the Bluetooth and all that. Get these Sonys up out of here. Throw them in the closet as like a backup or something like that. But that ain't good. That ain't good. All right. What's up, everybody? Shout out to the whole chat on the way in. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the mods. Today, what do we got? Y'all see the title? It says Miss Hustle off card because of Eazy the Block Captain main event. So we're going to talk about that. I want to get into perspectives from a league standpoint, as well as a battler standpoint, as well as how like maybe the fans might react to that. Um, to my knowledge, yes. Let's say it clearly before I get into the topic itself. It's pretty much confirmed. Like Miss Hustle is not going to be appearing on the upcoming TBL card that has the main event of NuJersey Twork versus Eazy the Block Captain. I believe the same is the case also for J2. But let's get more into that mix in a second. After that, I'm gonna stay battle rap. I'm probably gonna bring up this AngryFan and Serius Jones live. I think it took place yesterday. Got very heated. We're already in the midst of covering the Serius Jones and the Head Ice storyline. It's been inside of our battle rap news cycle. Might as well continue to see it all the way through at this point. Same way we do for every other thing that we cover outside of battle rap, right? So we'll go to that. What else do we have? We got a decent segment here for David. All right. It's been a couple days, but we need to bring him back in, discuss any news updates. We want to also touch on why he hasn't been arrested yet. All right. And I saw the post that DJ Vlad put up about, I don't think that he's guilty because he hasn't been arrested yet, yada, yada, yada. We'll read it and then we'll get into some feedback from an actual lawyer on the Law and Crime Network. Take a look into that. I have a little spin-off from that as well. I won't spoil, but we'll get there when we get there. We got a little small thing related to Young Thug. He started going live. He started getting on his social media, started speaking out about his mental health, how he feels about things lately. We'll pull it up. I see what Thug is on. And then I'm going to close out. Yeah, not too many topics today, y'all. I'm going to close out going towards what I told y'all I was going to see yesterday. I did. We're going to talk about Leonardo in general as well. I'm going to give y'all my recap of the movie. Right, let me not spoil it. We'll get there when we get there, okay? So, do I see my members in here? I see a ton of members in here. Don't worry, y'all. We're gonna start in about 30 seconds. Shout out to Sniper. I see you. Shout out to the beautiful mod and member Jay. Who else is in here? Who else is in here? I see Sniper. You wasn't playing in here, and he only shows out the members. I get real familiar with my chat. Night checks. What up? No, it's not just the members, y'all. Okay, I show out there. I see Free Money TV in here all the time. One of the homies. Okay, Don Bean is here. Sorry Shoe Podcast family, of course. Who else is here? Who else is here? McChilson, our member, is here. Verb 17 Acres is here again. I saw him earlier this week. That's hilarious. What good our member is here? Who else? Who else? Elite is here. Sports Live Reactions is here. Shout out to the members, B. Shout out to the members. Miss AB is here. What's up, girl? Good to see you. Smitty, our member, is here. I see you. She Brown, our member, is here. Chapel, I see you, girl. It's not just the members, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I know who's who around here. I could keep going for days, but I salute y'all on the way in. Shout out to the members, shout out to the mods, shout out to the chat. Are y'all ready to walk? Okay. This is how we're going to kick this off. Because at the end of the day, promotion is promotion, right? Good, bad. When you're a league and you're in a spot like this, regardless of whatever's going on and how it came to be, drama with battlers, drama with fans, drama with other leagues, drama with the bloggers, you better realize that promotion is promotion, especially in a field where we lack promotion. We always scream and kick and cry about promotion. Cardi B is out here looking like she's 9 months pregnant. And every day we see her in the headlines doing shows out in the street, promoting, pushing her product, promoting. You got billionaires like Floyd Mayweather. Go watch a promo rollout or a promo run from him. I get it. They have a lot of resources and big networks behind them, big budgets behind them. But in battle rap, it is what it is. So you got to use whatever you got. So let's start here, man. The big announcement. NuJersey Twork versus Eazy The Block Captain, TBL's next card.
I said y'all was tired of seeing me on trenches, right? We talking to a nigga that came into this game and only know one word, and that's consistency. I was tired of seeing me on Chrome, right? Well, TBL, what's up, man?
The Block Cat finally made it, nigga.
And TBL, you got another one.
There's nobody in the battle rap culture that I would beat the dog shit out of more than Eazy The Block Captain. Like, if you really want to see a nigga die real bad, I would bury that nigga, bro. 10 feet deep.
And you want me to battle a nigga that's not consistent because of what? Because of what? Or what, though?
They say he beat you all.
Yeah, they said he beat you first.
Because he did. Because he did.
You fucking tripping, nigga. You ain't every talking to him, Chris Brown. Excuse me, miss. I saw you from across the room. Never. Now you know you lying. Don't come in here and catch me like that. Yo. I would never leave with my fucking head.
Their paths will cross again.
I would beat the shit out of him.
Stop on him, disrespect him.
But this time, it's personal.
I know you for real. I know you for real. And I know you for real.
I'm strapped in.
You can nothing. You can nothing.
On October 11th, as destiny would have it.
I'm gonna make you look like a little boy. I'm gonna make you look like a little fucking boy. I would love fucking boy. I would love a little fucking boy. I already know it. Man, fuck that. Let's get. I'll clap you in the dome. Man, I can slap it in your nose.
TBL presents Exodus. Eazy The Block Captain
Movie
versus NuJersey Twork.
I like it. We love it. Great when they announced it at the Hitman and Mook event. Great trailer, great promotion, great matchup, great timing as well. It is a grudge match. At some point, some of us thought that it wasn't even going to be able to get pulled off, right? But it is a real grudge match. And when we get battles like this that have some of the backstory, it puts both battlers in a spot where it's like, you have to win that, right? It's like you could take your L's out there. Nobody is undefeated. The best of the best got L's on their resume, but there's just certain matches you get to, like, I can't lose to him, though. And that's Eazy at Twork. Both of them. You got to expect an A+ game for this one. So locking in this main event, big deal for the culture. TBL on a run, giving us those check boxes. You know, the matchups that people really want to see that are really still left out there that aren't done yet. Let's go after those. Shout out to TBL for that. TBL also has can I say this? Well, I'll say it like this. After this card right here, I don't think that they're far from done before the year is over. Fuck it, I'll take it a step further. They do got something that's coming again after this card. And last week or 3 days ago, like 3 days ago, I heard about at least 35 minutes worth of bars from somebody that's in the main event to their next card. So TBL, you booked the right people. If that card that's after this one, motherfuckers already got 35 minutes worth of material. I heard it. I sat there and I listened to the like, okay, niggas is rapping. So when I'm telling you TBL is moving, if you haven't understood that yet, okay? Let's get more now into this Eazy and Twork, not Eazy and Twork. Well, the Eazy and Twork card, but the debacle with Miss Hustle. All right, so what's the controversy that we all waking up to? What are we hearing about? We're hearing that Miss Hustle and J2 are off the card. Now, here's the card, people. All right, let me take the small screen for y'all so y'all can see this. This is the card that I believe was announced thus far by TBL coming up October 11th. Get your tickets to be in the building. This Exodus card, very, very good matchups. I love it. Of course, the mega main event, Eazy versus Twork. John versus Swamp. Dope battle. This is one that has been talked about in the past, of course. Jada Nightwing is killing out there, and A-Ward is A-Ward. All right? A-Ward is fucking A-Ward. So this could be, you know how you be having those sneaky, like when people say like, yo, is that battle of the night type shit? Don't be surprised with like an A-Ward and a Jada Nightwing, even on the main event, really should be battle of the night with these two guys and their talent. But A-Ward and Jada Nightwing is one of them. T-Rex and Snake Eyes. So I want to hear the backstory and the drama, and I want to hear them addressing Dot Mob and all of that. Dope, okay? You got Shotgun Suge and Marv 1. I like that. Marv is Marv. Suge is Suge. Suge, two OGs. Elijah Straight. Los. Do I know Los Primi? I don't know that person. I know Elijah Straight though. J2 and Saga's not on the card. Bonnie and Bonnie is working. Shout out to Fendi too though. But Bonnie be working. She's always been working. So the ladies is on the card too. But the two battles that are no longer on the card is Miss Hustle versus Loso. Good matchup. J2 versus the Saga. That's a good matchup too. You know, I already can predict where that battle was going to go. So that would have been very compelling. Will they be put on different cards or whatever? I don't know. Who knows? We all got to pay attention to Hustle and Loso and 2 and Saga and TBL and see what's going to happen. But the word is these two battles are off the card and it's being tied to Eazy the Block Captain. All right. So let's start to talk the two angles there. All right. The first side of that coin is a battle rapper that's in a main event. Does that affect, or should that affect, the bookings or the matchups or the battle rappers that are on the remainder of the card? You got to look at it from the battler standpoint, and you also got to look at it from the league standpoint. We're going to do both. The main event, how much stock does it really hold? Well, I could give you two sides of that coin too. Oh, we're going to walk. We're going to walk. Take our time, people. We're going to walk. I can give you two sides of that coin too. I could say, hey, in battle rap, we're not even able to sell solo events. We can't sell one-offs. We don't sell one-offs. You know, when I use the classic example, when Tay Rock versus Murder Mook was announced, it was one of those must-see battles, a mega heavyweight fight. GOATs involved, Mount Rushmore candidates involved, and the fans went crazy negatively responding to the rest of the card. What is this? You got the what? It's like URL focused mainly on the main event and the rest of the card was kind of skimped, right? And I've been there as well. It's the sole time that we tried to promote a card that was kind of like pushed like a boxing event where there wasn't a name to the card, no Lift of Soul, no Pearly Gates, no Max Out, no Validation, no Blue, none of that. It was just Math versus Serius was the top of the title. And we tried to say, this is what y'all act like y'all want to see, right? The rest of it is an undercard. Treat it as such. Somebody tell me who was on the card with Mayweather and Pacquiao. Nobody can tell me. And we tried that. We tried like a boxing promotion. We failed as far as how people received the rest of the card or that presentation. And the same reaction we saw from Mook and Tay Rock's card. Point being, battle rap fans are conditioned to give me a card. Give me 4 minimum. I might let you slide. Give me 5, give me 6, give me 7, give me 8 matchups and take my money. I'm not able to come here and say, give me $50, which is the type of money that I want to charge, considering what the battle rappers want to make and what all this costs to put together, right? There's got to be some type of balancing of what goes out versus what type of money comes back in, right? But let's say I want to budget to a $50 sale, okay? Can I just give you Twork and Eazy and y'all buy it? The battle rap culture doesn't move like that. It's not conditioned like that. If a league could sell you one battle, they would. They wouldn't deal with 20 battlers hotels and flights and issues and drama and personalities and all that if they could just spend the same money and give you one match. Can't do it. All right. So the main event, you can skew it how much weight it holds as far as putting a card together from that perspective. But the main draw that people normally come out to see if you make a good main event booking is that top dog there, is that top slot. That's the first announcement. That's the one we want to see a face-off to. If that one doesn't happen, give me my refund. Other stuff I might could deal with, maybe. Give me my refund if Twork and Eazy doesn't happen tonight, okay? Let's keep it 1,000. Said that, let's go to the league side first. Then I'll go to Eazy and we're going to pull up some other stuff. We'll go to league side first. If you're a league owner, yes, it is good to collaborate with all the battlers, not just the main event as much as possible. It's just the main event that much more. What do I mean by when I say that? Like I might book like let's say Big K versus Murder Mook, right? And I might be in touch with these two guys and I might give them heads up of other matches on the card. I might tell them, hey, I'm gonna book this matchup as well, or yo, holla, is you versus Ill Will main event. But also what I'm trying to put on there is Averb versus A Ward. Or guess what? This shit about to be all St. Louis. You communicate, you leverage. Sometimes you even get ideas. It's okay to partner with what is the most important piece of your card, especially like if you do, like, let's say, pay-per-view deals or different types of business models, right? You put each other in a spot to feel like it's beneficial to everybody. You're partnering. I'm not your boss, you know, and I'm making you as comfortable as possible. And this is how we're going to get the best out of each other. So the respect that you and the appreciation that you have for me, including you in this whole rollout, you know, it's just how certain league owners move. Also, you have the element of issues. This is battle rap. It's a very aggressive environment. There's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of disrespect. Of course, yeah, there's rarely fights, but some of these people really, really do feel a way about each other. There's a lot of people in the culture, whether we admit it or not, that do not belong on the same cards. So a league definitely should navigate that. Definitely should ask some of those questions. You can pay attention to the landscape and say, I'm the league owner that's so in tune. I know every tweet. I know every beef. I know every problem. I know all the drama. But some league owners don't have time to see everything. You also just got league owners, you know, that they're focused on what their job is, right? And they need the battlers to give them some of that feedback. So league owners, have these discussions early on with your main events, which is the core of your card. You know, let them know the ideas, give them as much information as you can, partner with them, create that type of energy in that type of space. Now, on the battler side, it is a battler's job up front knowing that a league is going to go off and create a card. All right. They're going to go off and book another 10, 12, 14 people, possibly. If you have any type of issues with being on a card with somebody, it is your responsibility to make that shit known. It's no different than making it known that my opponent, I don't want them to rap certain things. I need it in the contract. Yes, this is the type of stuff that needs to happen to avoid the fight. We don't want to see official and coffee. We don't want to see that type of stuff happen. We want that ironed out before the battle, right? We want people to know clear cut. This is the only thing that I'm going to stop the battle for, or I'm going to have an issue for. Or if that person's on the card, I don't know if I could pull up. Or if that person's on the card, I might pull up and there could be an issue. Do you know how many fucking battles or matchups I had to navigate? I had to navigate shit that wasn't even on the card sometimes. Okay. I'll give you an example. Since he's in the main event, I'll give you Twork. there was a time where Twork and Froze was into it. I think there was mentions on maybe one or both sides about like family and stuff like that. The type of shit that was going back and forth. Like if they see each other, there probably will be an issue, or there'll at least be some form of confrontation. Somebody's gonna say something. Then from there, you never know if things go left or not, right? And what did I have to do? I had to say, like, I got this card coming up. Twork one, I think Froze was on the card. I think it was the ladies and gents card, which had Frozen T-Rex. Yeah. And Twork wanted to pull up, and I got them on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, can we hash out y'all issues or whatever? Because I fuck with Twork. Yeah, pull up. You know what I'm saying? And Froze is my guy, and he's on the card. You know, if y'all gonna be in the same place, I need this ironed out first. Okay. And Twork wasn't even on the card. I had it with people on the card as well. John versus Big K. Behind the scenes, they went to war. Only if y'all knew. I was gonna have to take that whole battle off the card, man, because I was like, nah, it's gonna go up. These two guys have too big of an issue. I had shit with Show Off and Froze before, right? Can't put those guys around each other. I had certain ladies that couldn't be around each other. It's a lot, man. Y'all think that it's petty. It's not petty. It's not petty. And there's a million stories that y'all fans never hear about, but the battlers tell us. They tell us, like, yo, that person, like, yo, like, it's disrespectful, or he said this or he did that. I'm just letting you know. Like, it's a real thing, okay? Now, if I come to Eazy side a little bit more, let's start to look at him and Hustle specifically. All right, so what I did this morning was I was just curious, and I said, well, how deep is it from just an outside looking in standpoint? And I said, let me just search. What did I search here? Miss Hustle exposes Eazy the Block Captain. Now, the reason why I typed that in is because we do know, some of that stuff tied to, the night of the incident. We know Hustle's been very vocal around that situation. She's had a lot to say, right? So I said, let me search Hustle first. And this is some of the content that I see. I see Miss Hustle exposing Eazy the Block Captain. This looks like a space. Miss Hustle and Eazy gets heated. I'm sick of you. Eazy the Block. Oh, that's something separate probably. Miss Hustle exposing Eazy the Block Captain and Tay-Rock. Miss Hustle exposed Eazy the Block Captain fights with Do and Pap. So these are two situations that people look at as like outside of rap, right? Do and Pap. Miss Hustle has a space about that. We're saying, okay. Eazy the Block Captain, Miss Hustle. All right. So just look at the titles, y'all. And I know there was in the last couple months, there was the Hustle and the Rem thing a little bit. Like they unfollowed each other. And then I think Hustle like had like a space or a video where she was like, I couldn't wait for you to unfollow me. And then she started unleashing on Rem a little bit more. And there's some, right? Even the history of Rem and Hustle is something to pay attention to for me if I'm a league owner, to be honest. So I said, all right, I see some of the energy definitely on that side. And I did the same for Eazy. I pulled up a different search, and what I just searched, I brought it down. I just put in Eazy the Block Captain, but I put him in first, and then I put Miss Hustle. And I see similar stuff that came up. It's Hustle and Eazy gets heated. I'm sick of you. Miss Hustle exposing Eazy the Block Captain. Eazy the Block Captain allegedly exposed Miss Hustle. What is the rest of this? Air out screenshots. The ball phone number shaking my head. Shout out to Polo, Battle Rap Fanatic. Eazy the Block Captain and Miss Hustle goes left over BT. Oh, that's something separate. BT. Okay. Miss Hustle exposing Eazy the Block Captain. It's a bunch of shit. Look at this title. Eazy the Block Captain versus Papoose fight. Tory, dirty, whatever. Okay. It's a lot of stuff that's online for them. Now, you could look at it. Some people from the outside looking in could look at it and just be like, fuck it. Let's see them battle. Right? We like to turn a lot of grudges and a lot of back and forths and put on a stage, and that's where we get the fireworks. We get great content, great rounds, great material, great angles, right? Hey, I got money right now if somebody books Eazy the Block Captain versus Miss Hustle. You could charge me, even if the card is subpar, you could charge me up to $60, $65, and I don't got a problem with it because I feel like that matchup is going to be fireworks because they just have a lot to say to each other. Hustle versus Eazy. But is it always rap? Is it always rap, people? Do y'all really feel like every time two people have issues, obviously, if you pay attention to the history of battle rap and you follow some of your favorite battle rappers, the answer's already there. But do y'all really think that everything is bookable? Or do you really think that everything just comes down to rapping raps? Y'all would be naive to believe that. So what would I think is an issue for Hustle and Eazy being on the same card? Now, if I'm Eazy, one thing that I feel is I'm the main event. So I should be made to feel the most comfortable. That's not to take anything away from Miss Hustle. People, don't let that go over your head. That's not a Miss Hustle thing. That's a main event thing. Okay. I should be made to feel the most comfortable. You know, I am the biggest sale or part of the biggest sale of the card. I should make you the most money. I should sell you the most pay-per-views, the most tickets. You know, I should be earning the most on the card. So I have more stake technically than anybody else on the card. So a person's comfort in business is definitely part of things. Who am I kidding? I want battlers to make me comfortable too. Don't be a fucking headache. Don't be calling me every 5 seconds. Don't sign your contract, get your deposit, have all your agreements, and then call me changing things. Don't call me 3 weeks later asking for more of your back end, me to go on my own. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Keep me comfortable too. It's like, do I want to keep working with this person because they're a fucking headache? You know, it goes both ways. So a person's comfort fucking matters. How about the impact on the outcome of my match? Can that happen? What if Miss Hustle gets in that building, gets on that stage versus Loso? And this is this, because that would be an all eyes on me moment and a perfect time for her to diss the fuck out of Eazy. I'm on the card with you. You're the main event. Everybody's here to see you. If I have real issues or real things I want to say about you, like I have been in spaces or whatever, now's the time. Now, so you're coming up later on in the night, and here I am on the undercard. I'm dissing you. I might got words for Rem. I might try to expose this. I might try to expose that. That's a possibility. If I was Hustle, I would do it, right? Now, if I'm Eazy on the card, does that affect my twerk battle? Why wouldn't it? It could affect the crowd. The crowd could feel away. What if Hustle puts a new angle on Eazy and got people looking at Eazy a certain way even before he takes the stage? You know, it's what if she says something that Twerk is able to use as a rebuttal? That happened. How many times have we watched the card where somebody set a bar in a building, later on in the night somebody used it? It's very, very possible. So those are two things that I feel like are lesser. Let's go to the extreme side, which we hope is never the case. What if there really is a problem in the building? What if there really is? What if there really is an argument, right? And what if Entourage really, really gets into it over just words or back and forth, right? What if Rem is there, right? Let's say Rem pulls up to watch the battle just to hang out, right? Rem and Hustle probably would have to exchange some type of words if they saw each other, right? Should I say have to? I don't want to say that. I don't want to put that type of energy out there. But what would y'all expect if Rem and Hustle seen each other? Would they just cut their eyes at each other? You know, would somebody say something? Once again, you got the entourage element. Next thing you know, there's a fight, there's a fuss, main event is off. You just don't take chances when money's on the table, when you have known issues. It's one thing to walk into a building and something happened that you had no clue about. For example, go look at the way we all dressed for fucking gyms versus goods. I'm wearing like fucking like a sports jacket. Niggas is wearing sweats. My man Rod, they see jumping around the stage, is wearing the gray sweat hoodie or whatever. You know what we had on our mind? Other people that was saying shit towards the event. And it wasn't directly towards RBE, but I'm pulling up to conduct my business. Okay. And people were saying certain things as if like, oh, if you book a certain person, there could be a problem. And we booked it. So we had eyes and vibes, and security people think about this. The door girl, you have this. Shata, you like this. Rod, you like this. ARP, you like this. Tim, you like this. Mech, you like everybody's got certain things on their mind. We had gyms and goods having a confrontation was the last of our thoughts when we used to think about people totally different. Who could have predicted that? Nobody. Nobody. And you just can't prep for that because that's something that just happens in the middle of the battle, right? At the end of the third round, things just happen, just built up like that. And then there's triggers on both sides and then things happen. But who am I now as a league owner? And once again, I don't want to contradict myself. These are people that's outside of battle rap and not booked on the card. Okay. Now, am I being responsible if I know two people is on the card and I put them and I know they have issues and I'm putting them in the same places at the same time? Hell, I seen Chilla Jones talk about even from Holla pulling up to announce that he was going to be on the next card. They put hours in between trying to separate him and Verb. And Holla wasn't even on the card. You know, it's just like, we got to have him here for the announcement to get on stage. Hours in between. It's something that the leagues be having to coordinate. And if I'm Eazy, I don't want that. I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with the possibility. I don't want to have to deal with if something does happen. I don't want to have to deal with the crowd being altered or somebody possibly getting in their battle before I come on stage dissing me. I don't want the energy, period. I don't even want to deal with the rollout. I'm your man. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm trying to be fair here. If I wanted to go to Miss Hustles, if I was standing in her shoes, right? The only thing I could really say is if I'm Hustle and I'm telling the league, I don't got no issues with him. That's just battle rap. That's just, we had a little back and forth. I'm gonna fuck about him, blah, 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 blah. And then I still, but then again, that's negated because these conversations would still come across before. So if that question comes up and Hustle takes a position like I ain't on nothing with him or Rem or nobody, I don't care. And then you put on the card and then here comes Eazy and he's just like, nah, get that out of here. And that conversation happened before, then yeah, I would say Hustle's in the right because we all discussed this amongst all three parties, Hustle, Eazy, and TBL. But if it's not discussed across all three parties or there's not understandings, yeah, I understand. So I want to leave it here. Don't think that this is the first time that somebody in a main event or somebody on a card was a part of maybe a league making a decision for somebody else not to be there. That happens every other card. You guys just don't hear about it. I'm telling you. All right. So shout out to TBL. Shout out to Hustle. Shout out to Eazy. I'm keeping an eye out now for whatever next announcements are. Will the battles be replaced? J2's battle and Miss Hustle's battle. Will they be put on a different card? Will Miss Hustle speak out? I believe she already is. I think I saw she had a post on OTF TMZ. Will TBL have to navigate this? Will Eazy speak out? However it goes, if you're TBL and if you're Eazy, use it for promotion. Use it for promotion. But don't be naive, people. It happens every fucking card. Y'all just don't know. All right. That's the thing with Miss Hustle being off the card with TBL and Eazy The Block versus Twork. Let's go into the last video that I see now related to Serius Jones and Head Ice's situation. All right, they was on with Serius was on with Caps, so they got a little turned up towards the end.
Doesn't add up.
Hey,
What up, Joe?
All I'm gonna say to you is this, brother. I put all of the paperwork.
Jones, I'm not coming at you. I'm not. Hold up, Jones. Hold up, Jones. I'm not coming at you. You hear me?
Okay. Well, I guess that's about what you consider coming at somebody, because saying somebody's a liar to me is coming at somebody. But it's okay.
Yeah, wait a minute. You are online slandering him. You're lying.
Let me say what I'm gonna say, and you'll let you go along with you doing. If you
we're gonna talk. Let's have a conversation.
Hold on. If you Google and pay for Anthony C. Haney inmate search, it's $10. The paperwork, that's the PDF that's on my YouTube that we already went through. It has his name, his address, his birthday, which says 1977. It has his address, which is 2660 8th Avenue. It has all of the charges that they're able to find on that inmate search lookup, which is a resource that they provide for you if you pay for it. That's why they say it's public record when someone gets in trouble. I don't know what this specific. Hold on.
Go ahead. Relax, bro. All right, go ahead,
I don't know what these other bloggers are doing, trying to
Yo, bro, I gotta pull up right now. Hear me out, Jones. Hear me out. You'll be okay, nigga. Give me 20 seconds. It's my show. You'll be all right, bro. Hear me out. I'm looking at. Hear me out. I'm looking at
a blogger. You look at a blogger doing a video breaking down a piece of some shit he ain't even look up.
Okay, but it says 1990.
Yeah, what he's talking about, not what I posted, nigga.
So you say Handyman's lying? He does his research, my nigga.
I'm saying to you again, go to YouTube /Serius Jones, where we break down the PDF.
I'm trying to understand. Is Caps, did he do his own research, or he's like, I'm just gonna call Serius Jones a lie because I saw a Handyman say that he's a lie? You're your own platform, Caps. Is he doing his own homework?
That we paid $10 for. How the fuck is gonna be fake paperwork? We paid for it. Like, what are you talking about?
Bro, I wasn't saying it was fake. I was thinking that maybe you had the wrong Haney, I
guess.
Go
to the source, bro. You're listening to fucking bloggers that are trying to save a nigga that just told on himself. Go look at his last interview. The nigga said the case ain't happened, right?
Which one? The hip hop
Did he not
is real?
say the case ain't happened? Did he not say the case ain't happened?
Hold up. The hip hop is real?
Yeah.
Yo, Jones, I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? I seen that shit. I said, oh shit. Nah,
Stop trying to save him. Like, I hate y'all niggas.
Yo, Jones.
Y'all trying to save this nigga. He sat there and told you out his own mouth.
Yo, this nigga Cap switched in 30 seconds. So he calling Jones a liar, allegedly, and then he's like, oh, well, I did see the hip hop is real. I see y'all in chat say Caps is be fucking trolling. I don't know how people fall into the web that AngryFan always spins on his lives with people. I don't know, because Caps ain't even like, he's not even sneaky. You know, like a Charlemagne the God who's like real clever and very, very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like Caps, he don't even say too much shit to really make people feel like they back is in a corner. You know, he'll switch real fast. He doesn't make big arguments, so to speak. Yet people somehow still fall for his shit. Like I don't understand how.
After he sat down with the DA,
like an hour. Yo, Jones.
He said he talked to detectives, and he said he talked to a DA. What wolf and what gangster says?
Look, the Caps would be up there. Somebody be screaming or hot tempered or with their voice raised, and Caps would be sitting there laughing and smiling, turn his head and smile. How does he troll people? Like. I don't get it. It would never work on me, ever.
Cooperated with the DA, and they believe my story.
Look at him.
You told the DA detective a story.
Yo, Jones, it wasn't even that. What fucked me up was when he was just like, yeah, he went to the precinct. Then he said your man's went to the... I said, oh, shit.
So which one is it then?
Oh, niggas is going. Oh, this is so Jones not lying.
That's the only thing I came up here is because
they just said so Joe's not lying, but only 3 minutes in. We started off with it. Hold on, what did you say in him lying earlier? I gotta go back now. We 13 minutes. He said, "Oh shit, Joe's not lying." After you watch something yourself before Joe's came on the stream, I gotta go back to the beginning now. Hold on, I'm not gonna replay the whole thing.
All of the paperwork.
Jones, I'm not coming at you. I'm not. Hold up, Jones. Hold up, Jones. I'm not coming at you. You hear me?
Okay. Well, I guess that's about what you consider coming at somebody, because saying somebody's a liar to me is coming at somebody, but it's okay.
Yeah, wait about you are online slandering him. You're lying.
Let me say what I'm going to say.
He just said it. You're online slandering him. You're lying. And then he comes over here and says, oh, so Jones wasn't lying. How does he get this off on y'all?
Oh, shit. Oh, niggas is going. Oh, this is so Jones not lying.
That's the only thing I came up here because you saying I'm a liar, bro. I would never lie. I would never lie, especially about no shit like this, bro. The nigga told on himself. The nigga said there was no case, no nothing, right? Then he just said he went to court and it was dismissed. You heard him? He said I went to court and it was dismissed. So I was in no case.
But Jones, hear me out. Hear me out,
now
Jones.
He's trying to look, and now he's trying to hold on. Now he's trying to put it on the wolf. right? If that was the case, you would have said right when I brought that up, nigga, that was such and such that did that shit. That wasn't
you're
me.
right. Yeah.
You tried to act like nothing happened.
He fucked up with that Tiger and the Tiger
like nothing happened,
podcast.
and then when it comes out, all of a sudden, oh, it's somebody else. And I talked to the detectives, and I talked to the DA, who believed my story. So you tell stories to detectives and DAs. Oh, okay. That's not something that wolves and gangsters do, bro. We have lawyers. Our lawyer tells the story.
Man, fuck it.
And he didn't even acknowledge the case that I said right here, the underage person, whatever that shit is. He didn't even acknowledge that. He said that was fake paperwork. How was it fake paperwork when we paid $10 and I just showed y'all the site that you can go to? Pay $10 then. You a blogger? Y'all media? Why the fuck is Henny Man not paying the fucking $10? Pay the money, nigga.
So Henny Man wrong.
Jones ain't never lied to y'all. Jones is never going to lie to y'all. And I didn't give a fuck about none of this shit until this nigga kept playing with the fucking wolf. He's not a wolf. He's a rapist and a fucking faggot. That's why he's scared to face me, though. He won't go on his own block. And why he's sitting on an off-brand block doing an interview. His third one. He ain't come to the fucking building yet where he's supposed to be repping. And y'all calling him the wolf. Y'all don't get it. He's not outside like this. He's a bitch. Y'all niggas be believing anything. But anyway, go do your homework, bro. Box, take her out right now and look up the facts. The man just told you out his own mouth. When he said, oh, they tried to say that he came in the room and got me off her. No, they ain't trying to say it. That's what happened, nigga. The same situation you said didn't happen. You said we was making it up.
No, Jones, I'm gonna keep it real because I owe you that. When you said this shit, I thought you was bugging. When I seen the hip hop is real shit, I said, oh shit.
How can I be bugging out of my mouth now?
We go back and forth all the time. I ain't gonna lie. When I seen that, I said, oh shit, what the fuck? Like, all right, okay.
The nigga is a coward. He took Box and he talks to police. What? He just told you that he talked to police. He told you he was cooperating.
The Ohio shit.
Huh?
You're wrong about the Ohio shit.
Okay, if you're saying I'm wrong, it's not me wrong, then the paperwork that has public inmate searches is wrong. Because that's what his name is, and that's what comes up when you Google and research Anthony C. Haney. He has a get-off-me charge there. He then still ain't say nothing about why you got a charge in Alaska. He still ain't say nothing about the rape until now you got to. Now you're trying to put it on somebody else. You said it never happened. You said it was no case.
Fight this nigga. Hold up. Okay, what's the end result? Y'all gonna fight or not? Like, what's up?
Caps.
Do you think he wants to fight
or not?
What do you mean? He don't want to fight. Nigga, what the fuck is you not getting? He's pussy.
Okay, so what you want to do? Keep going live about this nigga or what?
No, I'm going to keep exposing a rat, nigga, because y'all niggas trying to fucking save him. Coward-ass industry niggas. Trying to save a fucking rapist. Fuck y'all niggas. And fuck that nigga.
We don't know it's real.
And y'all niggas trying to save that nigga.
Nigga, you was cool with him. You was cool with him from
I wasn't. Not when I found out,
you
nigga.
Been knew
not
about
when I found out, nigga.
You say
Stop the bullshit.
You don't like him.
All right.
You been knew about this.
Okay, cool. Right. You can tell yourself what you want, Caps. Y'all keep trying to make excuses, bro. I didn't fuck with that nigga since the moment I knew, and I should have fucking outed that nigga then, right? I got to be the police, right?
So when did you find out? When did you find out?
I was supposed to be the police and come to y'all and tell y'all everybody business, right? All right.
Bro, when did you find out?
Y'all take care, man. Box take out right now, man. I ain't never fucking lied, and I wouldn't have said shit if niggas ain't keep playing with the fucking wolf. And y'all cowards out here keep defending rapists and pedos. Fuck that.
But now how do we know?
Now you know, nigga. Y'all like fake-ass niggas and believe them. And hate on the real ones. But I'm going to be outside getting this fucking money. Y'all take care.
Are you in New York?
Are you in New York? What does that have to do with it? fucking Caps, man. All right. I don't lie to y'all. I don't troll y'all. Well, if I troll y'all, if I'm playing around, if I'm joking, it's obvious. But I don't lie to y'all. I got a phone call last night, and somebody told me in the midst of that call to play Head Ice versus Serius Jones second round. That's what somebody told me on the phone last night. And I said, okay, maybe on tomorrow's stream or I'm going to catch it. But this was 10 years ago. It's on King of the Dot. Shout out to King of the Dot. And I'm going to play it with y'all. I didn't last night when I got off the phone. I didn't play it. I'm gonna do it right now with y'all live for the first time. I don't remember the bars. Obviously, the person told me to pull it up because they're referencing that something is rapped about in this round that ties to this situation as it's all coming out today. All right, so let's do it together. Let me scan. So first round looks like Headite.
Really got the scoop.
Okay. And bottom of the first would then be Jones, of course. And then I need, so second round Headite should be this then. Okay. All right, let's see.
Said, man, suck my dick.
Oh, damn. That's what we landed on? Damn.
Straight like that. Blackout. Said, man, suck my.
Round 2, it's on Head Up.
All right, this is the beginning of the round right here. Okay.
Nice, let's get it. Blackout.
Said, man, suck my dick. Straight like that. Straight like that. You don't gotta make no funny sounds to get punched in your face like that. Yeah. We not in the United States, and you don't know Drake like that. So after this battle, if I decide to rob you, you don't know what a precinct is. So I ain't stressing the case like that. Nigga, I let you taste a bat or a chrome nozzle, beat you with the back of a screwdriver in front of a bus full of kids and a screwdriver. Tell Tashin I miss her head. But if she ever play at me again, I'ma send you her body. But it's gonna miss her head. Man, miss me with irrelevant fake shit. I don't take shit, including pussy. I wipe my ass and doodle mush them, cause to us, it's no clue, you pussy. You almost got yourself killed in a fight scene in your own movie.
Is that it? I'm gonna play the rest of the ball, but that's gotta be what people is telling me to take a look at. And the way it was explained to me last night is that it was wrapped allegedly because it was getting in front of what was thought to be a possible angle that Jones would bring up, but Jones never said anything about it. All right. And I'm going to replay it, and I'm going to see if there's anything else in the round that would be correlated to all the stuff going on today.
Man, miss me with irrelevant fake shit. I don't take shit, including pussy. I wipe my ass and doodle mush them, cause to us, it's no clue, you pussy. You almost got yourself killed in a fight scene in your own movie. You your own groupie. I make you choke yourself with your own jury. Bitch nigga, casino style. You and your brother in the ditch, nigga. Math punched you in the face and had you wandering around like the eye on your cousin. I need to see paperwork. You riding around in the Benz like you a go-getter. Promoting you got hoes and you a hoe nigga. I get your car washed and bullets will run through your chest like these gold diggers. You an act who play it well. I give them that block raised from cells because the first gat I raised was a gauge at the age of 12. What happened to you being Muslim? Newspapers and bean pies. It's nothing ludicrous. They all knew you would pork out when it's beef time. Gun under the shoulder like deodorant balls. You hear rapid barks like a Doberman dog. Then more barks like the owner ain't home. Now you know that I'm a pet lover. The desert eagle will leave you, but the hawk could be a step brother.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff.
The desert eagle will leave you, but the hawk could be a step brother. Step brother. Blah. Step brothers. Before I give you all pops like stepmothers. Yo, Ice will run a nigga. You want a bucket? Challenge. This silver will be under a star like it run with Dallas. Ask Tony Romo or any other street hook or fag that know he homo. And you'll see how much power behind these bunches like watching boxing slow-mo. I should ox your throat though. Ice, nigga. Fuck wrong with this nigga.
All right, so I see the reference that y'all or that. All right. Okay. So if this video is 10 years old, 10 years ago, this discussions or whatever has been at least this old. I think Ice in the Hip Hop is real interview. He might have said something like that. We talking about something like 12 years ago, etc., etc., etc. But it'd be like the cookie crumbs type of shit. Only Ice could explain why he said that bar. Only Ice. Okay. Well, then again, I'm pretty sure if you ask Jones, Jones would probably give you an explanation too. But you know, let's be 1,000 respectfully. If I was a battle rapper, me personally, there's no need for me to ever write a bar that says I don't take nothing, including pussy. Miss me with the fake shit. That wouldn't be on my mind to write. So obviously Ice felt that somebody may have said this on his name before. I'm just saying. All right. But shout out to them two guys, man. I don't know. Something just makes me feel like we still haven't seen the end of it. It's just my guess. I'll do a $50 bet on that. I don't think we've seen the end of all of this with all this stuff going on yet. All right, we off a battle rap. Let's move on to David and his wild, weird, alleged shit. So I'm gonna kick this off with DJ Vlad's tweet. So what did DJ Vlad put up? DJ Vlad puts up, I'm not sure if David killed Celeste Hernandez. Police found her dead body in his car. It's been proven that they were in some sort of relationship, and cops have already searched his home. The fact that he still hasn't been indicted makes me think they have no evidence that he killed her. So that's not. Vlad is he's a smart guy, and he's had a lot of discussions and interactions around legal process, legal stuff, lawsuits, crime. I'm very surprised that he tweeted that, because his premise pretty much is time range, right? Let me try this with Diddy. When was Diddy's Miami home raided related to Rico? Right. Let me see what month that was. That was March 25th, 2024. When was Diddy officially arrested in New York? September. Okay. March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months later. He got arrested 6 months later. So let's take that off the table. The time doesn't matter. The O Block 6. They had probably footage and all that type of shit week 1. Some of this stuff takes time. And I think it takes time because these situations are so high profile. It ain't nothing to some of these people to hear a rumor. When I say these people, I mean the authorities. It ain't nothing to them to hear a rumor, get a report, and go grab some regular Johnny off the corner, and we'll figure it out. Fuck around. Go ahead, we'll give him bail. We'll bring you back to court 6, 7, 8 months from now, whatever. We'll figure all this shit out. High profile cases is just treated so much different. Okay, they want their mark. The whole world is looking at the mayors be looking of these cities that these crimes, alleged crimes, take place in. It's publicity. It becomes political. It becomes some of these crimes we see go all the way up to the president talking about them, right? And when you got that much visibility, this David situation is pretty much national news at this point. No, not national. Yeah, I said national. It's definitely not worldly to me, but it's definitely national news at this point. You take your time. You put all this stuff together, and when you do make an arrest, especially when you're dealing with somebody that has resources, people don't be wanting to charge these authorities. They don't want to charge you and end up like Young Thug. It's like, now we got to go fire a bunch of our prosecutors in our prosecution office because we fumbled one of the biggest cases in Georgia history, right? They don't want to do that shit. This guy is obviously the clear primary suspect. It's just not time to charge him yet. You could look at the mafia. Who the fuck didn't know John Gotti was one of the fucking crime bosses of the families? They got to the point where they was walking in the bathrooms and talking to him. The detectives walking up on him and shit like, hey, I just want to let you know we got some news. It's our duty to let you know that this person over here is conspiring to kill you. And we heard that on the wiretap. But we'll see you soon. Look at The Wire. When they ran down in the strip club that they use, when they ran down on Stringer Bell and Avon, Stringer Bell turns around and puts his hands behind his back. McNulty says, "No, I'll catch you later." They just take Avon at the time, and they left Stringer. You know, it's about having all your ducks in a row and then coming and grabbing them. All right. And let me listen to an actual lawyer break some of that type of stuff down too. Yeah, I'm very surprised that Vlad tweeted that, because it's one thing to think that, wow, it's been a long time since a primary suspect allegedly has been arrested. It's another thing to say that because of the amount of time that has passed, that makes me feel like he's not guilty. Come on, Vlad, wake up. You're smarter than that.
Are you surprised there is no arrest? Are you surprised that there has been no identified suspect, no identified person of interest by authorities? And what does it tell you that we're at that point?
I think it's very early still. I think that this is a complicated case. I think that there's a lot of information that needs to be sussed out first by the investigators, by the crime scene analysts and the like. And I think it's simply too early for there to be an arrest. I think an arrest right now would be premature, and that would then be something that defense counsel would jump on. There wasn't enough information to arrest. There wasn't enough probable cause to arrest at the time that they did. But I think that everyone needs to be patient. I'm sure an arrest before.
Can you explain what the disadvantage would be for law enforcement and for prosecutors for essentially making that announcement before they're ready to take some sort of action? What would be the problem?
Sure. So in order for an arrest to take place, there needs to be probable cause for the arrest to happen. And I just don't think that they're there yet. If they arrest somebody too soon, then their lawyer can go into court and argue that there wasn't probable cause for arrest and try to get the case thrown out.
And to be clear, once again, I said it before, I'll say it again. David has not been identified as a suspect. He has not been implicated officially in any wrongdoing. If he has not been arrested, if he's not been identified as a suspect, is it possible right now that authorities and prosecutors are thinking he may not be connected to this? He may not be responsible for Celeste's death, or they might be looking at alternatives there, or they may be trying to see if he has a connection here. I mean, what should we be taking away from that?
I don't think we should take anything away yet. I think what we should take away is that this is a messy, messy crime scene with a lot of unknowns. And I don't think that if I were David, I wouldn't be resting easy by any stretch of the imagination. But if I were the public, I wouldn't be clamoring for them to hurry up and do something. I think these things take time.
What would you advise him if you were representing him right now?
Not to say anything and not to do anything.
What does that mean? Because right now he canceled the rest of his tours. He broke the lease, apparently, moved out of that rental property that was searched. Those are significant actions. That says something.
If I were his attorney, what I would advise him to do is lay low, do nothing, don't obstruct the investigation, but we're under no obligation to cooperate with it either. And just let your lawyers do what they need to do in order to get from point A to point B.
What do they need to do? Remember, I think it's interesting when we talk about a high-profile celebrity case and what might be happening with lawyers. We covered the Diddy case extensively. You covered it with us as well. His lawyers, before he was officially arrested and indicted, they were in constant communication with prosecutors. At least they tried to, when it came to what he was doing, his movements, surrendering his passport. Is there a communication happening between his attorneys and authorities? And what does that communication look like?
I would imagine there's some communication. And what it really is you're informing the prosecutors of where your client is, your client's availability. What you don't want is for them to come into your client's house in the middle of the night and arrest them. In a situation like this, I reach out to prosecutors where I have a client who's a suspect. I say, look, you know me. Let us know where you need us to be. We will turn ourselves in at any moment, rather than you coming to my client's house or my client's place of business, 10 officers deep and taking down the door. Let's cooperate.
Yeah, you're not always going to get that type of luxury, though. It don't matter who the fuck you are. Even with Diddy. Diddy, when they grabbed him, when he was in New York, so allegedly him and his legal team, they were prepping for it. Like, all right, let's stay close to where this indictment is. And when they're ready, hopefully that also shows that we were cooperative enough, and we want that to then get us bail, get us a bond, see that we're so cooperative. We're not a flight risk. I'm not trying to go do the race on y'all. It didn't work though. And we saw the reports come out after. It was just like his first initial bail request got denied. And it was just like, damn, but he was so cooperative. And they was just like, you don't get a cookie or a pat on the back for doing the right thing. And I was just like, ooh, all right. It's like, they're like, no, like, obviously, you know what you got going on. The video came out and shit, right? With you and Cassie, you're a target, and it is going to happen. And yeah, your lawyer, your legal team is in touch with the prosecution or the prosecutors, but it doesn't mean that everything's going to be a coordinated effort. No, look at the, which one was it of the twins from the NBA? When he got grabbed up and it was alleged initially it was over a debt with a casino, the Morris twins. I forget which one of the Morris twins it was though. The footage came out later on. They grabbed him at the airport. That ain't no coordinated shit. He about to fly out, have a little vacation. He's there with his family and shit, and they pulled up. The only thing that they did for him was like, yo, just take a walk. We won't cuff you right here in front of everybody. Just take a walk. Just shut up. Just take this walk over here. Take this walk. It's like, oh, yeah, David ain't gonna get that luxury. Who the fuck is David? I get it, he's a big artist, but hey, we just want to we saw that on the Chappelle show. Remember that skit? But it was just like if it was reversed and black people got treated in the legal system the way the white folks did. And remember, he was like on the phone with the prosecutors, like, all right, well, how about I turn myself in around, like, let's say 5 p.m. He's like, yeah, that's cool. And he still showed up late. Dude is not getting all that shit. Especially this is a murder investigation. All right. If you're capable allegedly of murder, you're capable of many things in the eyes of the law. So now I expect you to act like an angel and all this shit. No. I'm cracking through that fucking door 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I'm breaking out the handcuffs. Hopefully for you, you've already had your ducks in a row because you knew that you was the primary suspect. Okay. Period.
With you, you know what we're going to do. We're going to turn ourselves in if and when it gets to that stage of the game.
If there is some sort of action in this case, what will it look like and what can we expect?
I imagine that the first thing that would happen is there would be an arrest of David. I'm imagining,
or someone else.
Or someone else, right? Someone will be arrested in this case, I imagine. And if it is somebody like David, whose attorneys have already been in touch with the prosecution, they'll most likely arrange a time for him to turn himself in. If it's someone else, someone random off the street, someone whose name we don't even know, that person could obviously just be arrested at the spur of the moment.
Isn't there surveillance cameras of someone depositing a body into the car? Or they look to see how the car got there, who was driving it. Maybe they don't have all those answers. You would think in Hollywood Hills there would be some sort of video evidence to document something about that car, no?
I'm sure that there probably is, but again, I caution some patience here, because what the last thing that the folks in LA want to do, LA County is a strange place. California sees high-profile trials all the time. They tend to go a little sideways. They're certainly full of surprises and unexpected details. I think they really want to have all their ducks in a row before they pull the trigger.
Why no cause of death? Why has no cause of death been released? I mentioned before that there needs to be additional testing, but the reports indicate the LA County Medical Examiner's Office won't even say what that testing is. I guess.
How did they not at least come out and just say like murder at this point if the body was dismembered? That's not an accident. And you want to know, like, you could maybe deem as a body dismemberment accident, like some of these fucking warehouses that are chopping steel or something. Somebody allegedly falls into a machine on accident, but then you don't end up in a trunk, right? So yeah, why haven't they released that yet? But I gotta take my own advice. It's just the due process of them trying to line everything up is as strongly as possible. You can't say 100%, but as strongly as possible.
Something about these remains not clear cut. They need to do additional testing, but like, why not even say what that testing is?
I don't think they want to show their cards yet. For example, and this is just a hypothetical, what if she was pregnant? What if the testing has to do with DNA testing and they're hoping that, or they try to find out who the father is of the unborn child? That testing takes some time, and that's certainly not something they want to show their hand on right away. Drug testing, things along those lines. Forensic testing does take time.
When do you think we can get an update there?
I don't know. I think that's a tough question to answer. It's something everybody wants, but again, I don't think they're in any rush. If it's David, everyone knows who he is and where he is. I don't think there's a concern that he's going to abscond. I think they're going to take their time because they want to get it right.
Is it unusual to you that we don't have a cause of death right now that's been released, or is that standard practice?
I think in a case like this, where it isn't something that's blatantly obvious, it's relatively standard practice. Again, they're not going to show all their cards in the beginning.
Do you think there's going to be trouble determining time of death, which can be very important for prosecutors as well?
I think that time of death is going to be tricky in this particular situation, especially because as far as we know, the body seems to have been there for a significant period of time. I think cause of death is something that's going to be easier to figure out than time of death.
If he was on tour when this body was found, does that hurt the prosecution's case?
When it was found or when it was killed?
Right, when the person was killed, right? That's a good point. I mean, when the body was found and he was on tour, leaving a body in a car in a public area that's going to be towed. I've talked about this before. It's a couple of things. One, right, it could be framing. It could be just sloppy, or there was a plan to do something else, but the car got towed before you could do something. Am I crazy to think about these alternatives?
Or panicking. Or a third party was involved to get rid of the car and they panicked or they got rid of it their first opportunity. I think that there will be more information forthcoming without a doubt. A cause of death will be forthcoming. I think we just need to wait and see what that testing is.
You think it was wise for him to move out of the property? Do you think he consulted with his lawyers before doing that?
I think that it probably made sense for him to move out of the property for a few reasons. If they were going to execute search warrants on the property, I wouldn't want my client there at the time if my client has the ability to vacate the property. The last thing he needs is for the media to be following cameras through, like in Diddy, and have people there while search warrants being executed.
What do you think is going on with the materials that were reportedly obtained from the home? There's been reporting about computers and electronics, maybe
not just that. It becomes constant media and people outside the crib. Like every time you're coming and going, people got cameras in your face and shit. So who wouldn't have left that crib?
Trying to establish whether or not Celeste had a connection to that property. What are they looking for?
So the digital forensic analysts are going through all those materials with a fine-tooth comb. They're seeing what the chains of what the lines of communication were, if any, between Celeste and David. Were there emails? Were there text messages? Were there Instagram photos, whatever there was that they can use to connect those folks together and create a timeline for the prosecution.
You heard before that TMZ reported they might be looking for blood as well. Would that be making sense to you?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then what does that testing look like?
So it depends on where they're looking. I mean, if they're going through a home, they're doing a forensic testing. They're doing almost like we see in the movies. You know, they're getting down on their hands and knees. They're taking swabs from carpets. They're taking swabs from furniture. They're doing exhaustive testing of the materials themselves to see what they can find. They're pulling up drains for hair. They're examining bathtub drains for chemicals that can be used to dissolve bodies. It's all gruesome, but that's what they're doing.
Do you think prosecutors are working hand in hand with law enforcement in terms of obtaining this evidence and conducting this investigation?
There's always an interesting relationship between prosecutors and the investigators themselves. Right. Different jurisdictions handle it differently. Oftentimes, prosecutors assist law enforcement in writing search warrants to make sure that the search warrants are relatively watertight, because the last thing you want is a defense attorney to come in and challenge the grounds of the search or challenge the search warrant and perhaps get important evidence thrown out. So it's not unusual for prosecutors to assist investigators in drafting and reviewing those search warrants.
Do they assist also with interviewing witnesses, potential suspects, anything like that?
They can. I think more often than not, the interviews are conducted by actual investigators themselves rather than the prosecutors who subsequently be handling the case.
It's interesting. And we don't have a definitive connection here between David and Celeste. There's rumors online I talked about. There's what TMZ has reported about it. Is it unusual that law enforcement haven't officially come out and announced whatever connection there is between the two? And by the way, I wonder how much they might be trying to get information from family, from friends, from people online, from tips, which can get complicated when you're dealing with a celebrity like this.
Sure. I mean, the last thing I want to do is a rush to judgment, because that's what the defense attorney is going to stand up and say during his...
The whole getting information from family and friends, I'm about to put a twist on that. That's going to muddy the waters a little bit. Give me a second. We got like another 90 seconds of watching this one.
Or her opening statement, and then again at their closing argument. They're going to say this was a rush to judgment. Before they had all the facts lined up, they already pointed his finger at this particular suspect, be it David or somebody else. So it's not surprising that it's going slow. I think it has to go slow. And it's certainly not surprising they're not talking about any connection between these two, because again, if David didn't do it, you don't want to tar and feather the individual with saying that, you know, he's a highly regarded suspect in a particular case.
And you also have to think about who would have had access to the car if it wasn't David. Real quick, are they doing a deep dive into Celeste's life, and how can they track her movements and her actions from when she went missing in 2024? How difficult is that? What do you think's going on there?
So I'm sure they're interviewing family. I'm sure they're interviewing friends. And I'm sure they're doing a very deep dive on her sort of digital footprint, as it were, her phones, her social media pages, all those other things, to try to establish a timeline of who she was talking to, when she was talking to, and when those communications stopped.
And her remains being released back to her family now. Is that significant?
It means that they're done with whatever testing is going to be done on those remains. So whatever testing is going to take place has taken place, or, and not to be graphic, they've taken whatever samples they need in order to test in the future.
William Corman, thank you so much.
Always pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Now, here's the thing that's scary to me. When you need key people for an investigation like this, because you can't have allegedly a 13-year-old, what's the age, while he's 19, 20, 21, whatever. A relationship like that, I just feel like people know, right? This underage girl and this guy that's much older than her, like friends know. Hell, I seen some of this in the movie yesterday, and we're gonna get there towards the end of the stream. But friends know, family should know, mothers and fathers in the fucking chat. If your 13-year-old daughter is maintaining a relationship on the phone and text messaging and going out and hanging out and sleepovers and partying or whatever with some guy, especially if he's older than her, you probably know, or you know something. But here's a twist. Allegedly, what if the family knows, but they're not going to cooperate because this type of shit is happening? David allegedly paid his underage girlfriend's parents $10,000 a month to approve their relationship. Celeste Hernandez was only 10 years old when they first started dating on Fortnite. Allegedly, of course, 1000% allegedly. But it's possible. Am I just pulling this out randomly and saying, hey, let's pull this up? Don't expect any cooperation from the parents. That never happens. This one came to mind for me when I saw it. I said, oh, no. The world is the world, people. R. Kelly. I'll still say allegedly. Prosecutors played the videos for the jury after their star witness, using the pseudonym Jane, that was the little girl in the R. Kelly case, testified last week that it's her with Kelly on the videos. Now 37, this fast forward years later, the woman told jurors Kelly sexually abused her hundreds of times from the time she was 14 until she turned 18. Kelly, now 55, was around 30 years old at the time. So allegedly, she was a teenager and he was in his 30s. Allegedly. On Monday, Jane's mother, who used pseudonym Susan, took the witness stand. She said she initially did not know what was going on when her daughter began spending a great deal of time with Kelly. What the? You didn't know what was going on when your teenage daughter started spending a whole lot of time with this grown-ass global celebrity in his 30s. Can I sell that to y'all? You damn sure ain't gonna sell that shit to me. Imagine I woke up on one of y'all parents right now, and a global superstar, R. Kelly, a global superstar, and I say, hey, nefarious one, you're asking me why my daughter, right, who is 13 years old, is dating Nas. Nas is older than in his 30s, but whatever. A high-profile icon, a household name. And I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think of nothing going on throughout all this time that they spend together. Would you believe me? Would you even give me benefit of the doubt? No, you wouldn't give me none of that shit. And you're not supposed to. You're supposed to say, what? The most I could give you is use one of the stupidest, nastiest parents. Maybe you shouldn't be a parent at. That's the best I could do for you. You're that dumb. On Monday, Jane's mother, whose pseudonym daughter, began spending all that time with Kelly. Okay, prosecutors have said Kelly paid off Jane and her parents so they wouldn't testify against him at his 2008 child pornography trial in Cook County, at which he was acquitted. He ended up beating it. Jane didn't testify at the trial, and it wasn't until recent years that she began cooperating with federal investigators. So we saw those reports a million times. I think the prosecutors, I'll still say allegedly, laid out what they thought was evidence of like almost $20,000 worth of payments from R. Kelly to the family, and they was all overseas and all this shit. They laid out, I think it said in this here, right? Hold on, let me see. Susan testified in 2000 the family was contacted by Illinois Department of Children and Family Services with regard to allegations involving Jane and R. Kelly and the sex tape. She said the family met with Kelly and his manager to talk about it, and Kelly asked her and her husband, are you with us or are you not? That's crazy. It's fucking insane. That is fucking insane, allegedly. There's parents like that out here, B. Look at that child as a meal ticket. Whatever, my 13, 14-year-old girl is possibly getting taken down by this 30-year-old superstar. I don't care. You about to get this record deal, though? Are you about to make us millionaires? It's like leasing out your child. Allegedly still, but you think the first time we ever heard about this is for David? No, I just showed you. I just showed you. You know what made me disgusted? That whole R. Kelly documentary that they was doing, to see how many parents were giving their children to R. You know, dropping them off at the studio and taking them to the concerts, and you fed your child to R. Kelly, despite all the rumors, despite even his style of music and how sexual his content is. If I had no rumors around R. Kelly, if I'd never heard nothing about Aaliyah allegedly and nothing, I just didn't even pay that much attention. I should at least look at the age difference, but Okay, you got these older guys that work with younger kids. Look at Jermaine Dupri. He's got a long resume of working with younger kids, crisscross and all this. Cool. That doesn't mean you're doing nothing. I get it. But when you talk about man and little daughter and spending all this time and the music is over sexualized from R. Kelly. Here I am trying to support you getting into the record industry, but there's got to be boundaries. There's got to be some level of supervision. If you can't protect your child, and then you might even take it worse. Allegedly, you might even cooperate with your child getting done dirty for money. Allegedly. All right. Young Thug, like I said in the intro, man, he's releasing a bunch of videos on his social media talking about his mental health. What does it say? Young Thug on current mental emotional state. I'm happy and sad. A therapist can't heal this shit. All right, let's take a look at some of the footage.
What you know about being happy and sad, man? Tell me how to just be, you know? I'm happy and I'm sad. Shit crazy. Some days I'm vulnerable. Some days I'm just like elated, happy to be here. And some days just like bullshit. Listen, man.
What the fuck was that?
Don't let nobody tell you that you're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Don't let nobody make.
What the fuck was that? Should I harp? I'll leave it alone. What the fuck was that? I'm gonna leave it alone.
You feel like your mistakes define who you are. You know, change is always in the play. Do not let people make you feel like you're not wise as them because of your decisions. Don't never let nobody make you feel like you need them. You know, don't never let nobody tear you down. Don't never let a hard time humble you ever in life, bro.
Allegedly, what came to mind because of the sound of it, you see those recent headlines of the cops was called in, or child services was called in to Krishan Rock and her boyfriend's room, like they was in, was it Vegas or something? And like child services or the police showed up, and there was like was it like nitrous tanks or whatever in there? Allegedly. Yeah, I don't know. That's the only sound that popped into my mind. I didn't know that stuff is allegedly popular out there now. The whole laughing gas and hey, some people. Matter of fact, I'll say allegedly once again. Wasn't there reports that Kanye was suing like his dentist or something for getting him hooked on that type of stuff? Allegedly. Anyway, I don't want to speculate on Thug. That just caught me off guard. That noise. I was like, what the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a king, be a king. If you're a queen, be a queen. You know, never let a hard time humble you, man. You know, it's all just a part of the motions. You know, you just got to go through the motions. You got to see through it.
Never let hard times humble you. No, let yourself be humbled at times. Shit.
And hope God give you the light to see through it. You know, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be all those things, bro. It's all good, you know, but never put too much of your time and energy into somebody else more than yourself. You know, don't publicly stand up for people and do certain things unless you know 100% before you do it that a person will do the same for you, you know, and be positive and be happy. Because at the end of the day, nobody makes it out alive. We all die. So life is about being happy and finding the most happiest and rememberable, joyful moments in this world before departing. And I think from this day forward, I want to just be like happier. I want to be a better man, and hope God give you the life. I want to be a better man to my lady, and you know, my kids, my family, the few friends I do got, man. I just want to be a better partner.
It's kind of annoying sometimes when people do like these little kind of testimonials or interviews on lives and they just feel the need to always walk, move around and shit. It's like, yo, just sit down. Like, am I the only person? Small little pet peeve. I'll leave it alone.
Man, I want to be better with life.
Like you have OCD or something. Like yo, sit the fuck, stay still for a second and just concentrate on speaking to your fan base. There, like the fuck.
You know that.
And sometimes these motherfuckers just be walking in circles. Like, just walking in circles like this. Yo, sit the fuck down, man. The fuck.
Chapter's closed. I'm done. I'm gonna be better. You know, and you always should know that you're right most of the time. You know, this is a good life. God gave us beautiful earth, and I think that we gotta be happy because we only got so long on this earth. You know, and just be better. Every day get better. Peace, man. And I want to.
Definitely seems a little confused. He's not the best motivational speaker. Okay. So we won't turn to Young Thug for that. But some of his tweets, I did a lot of taking up for people all over this world. And so far, I've yet to see someone take up for me. Good, though. He continues to say that in interviews. You know, I squashed beefs. I done this. I was there for you when in the midst of your divorce conversations, and I helped you. And gun, I gave him my last. And I get it, man. I get it. I get it. I get it. But it's just shitty, man. Like I've over the years lowered my expectations of people as well. All right. Just because you're willing to do something, if you expect that back tenfold in your direction, then you're definitely doing it for the wrong reasons. But it just never works out. Like I shouldn't say never. Many times it doesn't work out like that, especially if you're passionate towards people. You know, I never, and there's good times where it's supposed to be like that. I don't even want back the energy that I've given to my kids for them to give it back to me in my direction. I want them to live and not have that responsibility. You know, they should have that responsibility when they become a mother and father themselves. You know, so there is a thing called sacrifice, right? If you're the leader of your home, if you're the leader of your relationship, there's elements where you're supposed to do more, incur more stress, take on more of the debt, spend more of the money, open more of the doors, pour in more of the teaching, do more of the discipline, which is, you know, just burden that you have to carry yourself. All right. So there are many relationships where it's our job. You know, that post that I put up on my Instagram recently is one of my top posts. You know, somebody expressing themselves of the weight on your shoulders as a man, you know, and sometimes we're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to show weakness. We just got to carry all this responsibility and the family, the kids, the wife, the girlfriend, the job, everything, you know, and you just got to do it, you know, in the toughest manner possible. It's not easy, you know, so there's definitely a lot of times where you're not supposed to expect things coming back your direction. But he continues to harp on these relationships and just like, are you still speaking about your fellow rap friends? Like, I don't know, man. Some of them probably showed you how they move in your times of need at this point, right? So who was there when you first got indicted? Who was there while you was in prison, was helping you with bail money? What women held you down, right? Who kept your name going? Who was giving you those features when you made those calls, like when you called 21 Savage from behind bars? Who are these people? Who's texting you and on the phone with you behind the scenes right now in the midst of all this? He said Drake was one that reached out to him and said, man, fuck all that, keep making music. It's dope when you're down to see somebody that's not going to kick you and help you. You endear those people and they reveal themselves and you look at them like that going forward. Okay. But there's a lot of people on the other side of that. It's just like, okay, I see what's up with you. Doesn't mean that everything's got to be 50-50. Like, I'm only going to do for you what you're willing to do for me. We already quantified that. But at the same time, it's good to have certain things on your radar. Like, ooh, I see how you move in certain situations. Period. What's the next one? I feel like I'm not winning with the people I'm supposed to be winning with. I think that same thing related. I've done so much for so many people. Why you not helping me, or why you not there for me, or speaking out for me? And I did all that shit. He keeps saying that shit in his tweets and his interviews. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't even care to live. That's definitely a contradiction to the videos that he was just saying in his half-hearted motivational speech. You know, I think he is going through shit, man. He is. And to say this, I'm not saying that this is like suicide watchable, you know, but if you're close to the guy, if I ever seen one of my close people tweet this, if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't care to live. I'm pulling up to their crib. If I see any of my people tweet this, I'm pulling up to their crib. Lost so many people I loved, some to betrayal. Yeah. And the Gunner thing, I think people don't realize he's showing us how much that shit really hurts him. Like, it's not just I'm this whole anti-rat person, but I really, really loved Gunn. I really want to be his friend. I miss, like, look at his interview with Big Bang. I don't know what to do. Where do I go from now? I don't got my twin. Where's my twin? I don't got my friend. I don't know where to go. I think he really misses his relationship with Gunner. He really does, but he trapped himself off from ever having that relationship again. So is he a victim of his own ways? To a degree, yeah, he is. A therapist can't heal this shit. I believe you. I believe you, man. You just need time to continue to take you on the paths that help you the most. That's it, man. I'm gonna close it there. That's all he could do. All right. Those are our topics. Shit. Like I said, man, I don't want to come back on stream tomorrow with these shits, man. I don't. But anyway, the recap from what's the name of it again? One Battle After Another. I saw it last night. Incredible. I kind of want to give it the classic name or classic definition. If you could see this movie today, go see it. If you could see it this week, don't wait. Don't wait. If you're into movies, period, this is one of them ones. As far as me ranking the movies that I've seen this year so far in theaters, my top 3 is, I'm not saying this is the top 3 of the year because I haven't seen everything, people. Don't misconstrue my shit. I'll give you the top 3 of what I've seen and the worst of what I've seen. The top 3 in order. This is number 1. One Battle After Another. This is number 1. Number 2, Sinners. Number 3, Superman. The worst movie that I saw this year, The Jurassic Park. Give me that time back. Keep the money. Just give me the time back. And I'm cool. You wasting my life hours with this shit. Worst movie of the year. But this movie right here, One Battle After Another, if I could describe it from a story, directing, production, visualization standpoint, I would say if Sicario and Fight Club had a baby and Quentin Tarantino raised the baby. That's how this movie, that's I don't know. That's my creative way of like, what's the vibe of this shit? I can't remember the last time I saw a movie that was paced like this, paced fast. There's some very fast scenes. There's some development scenes, of course, but there's some very fast scenes. The pace of it is incredible, yet somehow everything is developed perfectly. That's masterful writing, editing, screenplay, direction. It's not like let's say a Quentin Tarantino movie like Hateful Eight, which is one of my favorite movies. It's heavily based in dialogue, but Hateful Eight only takes place in 2 locations. In the charter that they're driving to the cabin in, and then the rest of it is just in the cabin. 2 locations. That's it. And all the stories and characters are just developed within that space throughout the whole movie. So you need some genius to actually pull that off and make that work, right? But that's Quentin being Quentin. This movie right here has so much pace to it. Boom, 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 boom. And every character, speaking of the characters, let me talk about the acting. Everybody did a 10. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio, come on, like, what are we talking about? It's Leonardo. everybody in this movie delivered a 10. Tiana Taylor, this is my first time watching her as an actor. I don't know what the rest of her resume is. I don't know if I've been missing, but she killed. She fucking killed. She was sexy as shit too. And it wasn't even the Tiana Taylor that's like all makeup and glammed up. And it's not that. She just provided a very strong sex appeal. It was just like, oh, she's overthrowing niggas. We see how she's doing it. At one point, I think she's called a witch in the movie. You got to see it to know what I'm talking about. But if I gave you a small storyline to it, it's a revolution. Matter of fact, there's one more movie I want to throw in there now. I think about it. My bad. If Fight Club, Sicario, and Dead Presidents had a baby, and it was raised by Quentin Tarantino, that's how you get this movie right here. But it's a revolutionary group, and that's why I thought about that, because of like the Black Panther type of movement that was in Dead Presidents. But there's this revolutionary group that's like anti-government, and they on their Fight Club shit, blowing shit up, running up in immigration holds and trying to like free the immigrants. There's a layer of there's a hard paternal layer in there as well, father-daughter. There's a layer in there of secret societies, kind of power groups, absolutely. It's this group called like the Christmas Team or something like that. And it just shows how these people could be in different places, in the military, in government, in corporate America, but behind the scenes, they pulling strings on people dying. They have taps into the military, into tracking agencies. I love that depiction. I loved it. And that same element was on the Revolution group as well, because there's a scene that I won't spoil where somebody's caught up, but just like in Fight Club, like, yo, these people are your waitresses, they work at your gas stations, they're your airplane pilots, and you find out when you bump into them, like, yeah, I'm with the Revolution. Like, oh, thank you. Like, yo, this shit is fucking incredible. It feels more like action than anything. There's some drama built into it, but it feels more like action to me. Storyline 10, acting 10, production, editing, pace, development 10. It's a classic movie. I got it as number 1 so far. And even if we look at, I think they went down 2 points from when I pulled it up. What was it, Friday? Wasn't it a 98? I thought it was a 98 on Rotten Tomato. Maybe a percentage came down a little bit because of the continued voting, but it's now at 96, which is ridiculous. And then the other side from the popcorn meter is 85. So I didn't even need to watch the trailer. I never saw the trailer. Or maybe I did. I didn't know what the movie was about, put it that way. I had no clue walking in. I did the same thing with Sinners. Everybody was raving about how good Sinners was. I didn't know it was a vampire movie. I had no fucking clue. I said, let me just go see it. I had no clue what the storyline of what this movie was about. But y'all see me on stream. I came over here to Rotten, and which is very reliable for us. I saw this 96 or 90 plus, and I saw that. I said, I'm over there. Leonardo being Leonardo, you know, actors wise, Paul Thomas, great job. I wouldn't have even known his name. I'm bad with names, but Leonardo, Sean Penn. Oh, his character, Lockjaw, his character is insane. Is insane. And Mr. Del Toro, he's one of my favorite actors too. His shit is insane. His character is crazy. When you meet him, at first it's like, what do you even have to do with this shit? And then as the pace just starts getting on adrenaline and he's walking around through this building, you start to see like, oh, he's involved in this. And like even like the immigration element, like that's perfect timing. Like with Trump's campaign, I think there was a line in this shit that said, you want to make America a better place, stop immigration. I was like, oh, the timing of this political wise, there's a lot of real world raw elements in this movie, B. Tiana Taylor fucked it up though too. The actors was ridiculous. Let me give a shout out to this girl. I don't know her name. It's my first time seeing her, but the girl that played Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, she's right here on the right. All right. So we know Regina. We know Tiana, of course. Two legends. Well, Regina is absolutely an acting legend. This girl right here, 10 as an acting job. I don't know if she's like some girl in her 20s that's just coming on the scene now, or if she's been on the scene. Y'all would have to hit me. But you could damn near watch. She could do a starring lead role in a film, in a Hollywood high budget film at this point. And I've seen her once. What I saw from her yesterday murdered it. Murdered her character, murdered her the drama type of moments that she has to have, the action type of moments that she has to have, the way she hits lines, the way she draws on emotion. Who the fuck is she? Who is she? Killed. Shout out to Checks and Balances. I seen this in here. Let's just open up the quick discussion when we start talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. When we talk about acting goats, acting ability, I start to go to the Joe Pesci's, the Al Pacinos, the Robert De Niro's, the Tom Hanks. Why even a Tom Hanks? I love actors that have range. Like a Joe Pesci has range. One movie, he's a mafia boss and everybody's scared of him. Another movie, he's my cousin Vinny, or on Lethal Weapon, and he's a goofball and he pulls them both off. Same thing with a Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks starred in Forrest Gump, a guy that was mentally challenged. And it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Right? This is what I mean by acting ability. Leonardo DiCaprio, acting ability. Denzel Washington, even though he's pretty much a similar person every time, his acting skills. Wesley Snipes, his acting skills. The way that these guys can bring about certain characters, they have everything. They could be funny, they could be dramatic, they could laugh, they could cry, and you fall into the character. That's what I mean about actors as goats. Some of the greatest you will ever see. But a different discussion of how about the goats in role selection, script selection? That might be Leonardo DiCaprio. Almost everything he does is a great movie, a great script, a great role. I don't know if it's just him or if there's a team of 100 people that's going through these scripts when these directors approach him and say, hey, we got this idea for a movie called Inception. And he looks over and he says, what's his process of saying, this is the one I want to do? Because he's like opposite from like a Samuel L. Jackson. You pass Samuel L. Jackson the script, he's taking the role. You know, some good, some bad. Let's do a Deep Blue Sea. Fuck it. That's Samuel L. And we love him for it, right? Not Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is he's so selective. And look at this list. It's wild that the one I just seen yesterday just came out is at the top of the meter right now. That might change over time. I don't know, but one battle after another. I'm telling you, it's a classic. 97. Catch Me If You Can. Such a classic fucking movie, B. Killers of the Flower Moon, I didn't see, but I'm gonna go watch it. I'm tripping. The Departed, classic. Gilbert Grape, class. Titanic, one of the biggest, one of the most discussed ever. Like Titanic, that's his movie. Inception, an all-time classic for me. Django, one of my favorite movies of all time. This guy's role selection, he's the GOAT at that. I don't like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know, but it's Quentin fucked up on that one. Tarantino. I didn't like that. But it wasn't Leonardo's fault. I just didn't like the movie. Somebody here on the side put No Shutter Island. That's another one of his. Oh my God, somebody here. This is what's this one right here in the meme, people? The snow shit where his son gets killed. Oh, my bad. Y'all can't see it on the side. Hold on. Let me scroll up more. Revenant, right? Revenant? What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm ready to say it, people. Role selection and quality of movie selection. Oh my God, Blood Diamond is here in the comments too. The Wolf of Wall Street is here in the comments. What the fuck? That's not even on this list. Wolf of Wall Street, Blood Diamond, Revenant, Shutter Island. Let's say once and for all. Role selection, quality of movie selection, script selection. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Leonardo's the GOAT. I'm done. I don't want to argue it no more. He's the GOAT. It's him. Go watch it. Go check it out, y'all. It's insane. It's insane. Shout out to Jay early on, of course. 607. Let's walk. That was at 9:28. I think we started at like 9:20 today. Hour and 40 minutes win right now. Not bad. Not bad. LA Heslo, our member, says salute ARP and much gain respect for you over the years. Keep it going. Great podcast. Thank you. I really appreciate that, homie. I really appreciate that. RBE, I put a lot into that. And shout out to everybody that was involved in RBE. I still got more battles coming, y'all. I'm gonna keep doing more full circles. I thought I was gonna do a full circle this year. I'm not. I can tell. I'm gonna put one together first quarter of 2026. And some people in the chat have been talking about a meet and greet. Maybe I coupled the two together. Maybe we do like a live podcast, a little small, intimate vibe, and I put some full circle battles there. We have a great time. I might do something like that. But first quarter, no matter what, there will be full circle battles booked, along with anything else I sponsor along the way. This year, members will get first release for Charlie Clips versus Shuni. That card is being done by Winged November 1st. So somewhere around November 1st, November 2nd, whatever. Send me my footage. I'll get it up here for y'all. But yeah, the podcast, man, I really appreciate this journey. It's fun. I love it. I'm having a great time doing it. I'm trying to continue to learn and expand. We expand our topics. We touching on politics a little bit more. We touching on a little bit more true crime than we used to do like last year. It's not just battle rap and hip hop. So I love the expansion. I love the growth. I love the interaction. You know, I'm starting to meet people outside that don't even know me from RBE and know me from the podcast. That bugged me out. I was like, how you doing? You know, nice to meet you. It's like, yeah, Sorry Shoot Podcast, right? I'm just like, yeah, but they're like, but what? I'm like, not RBE. I'm 12 years of meeting people out in the world about Rare Beat Entertainment. Now it's like, I don't know nothing about battle rap. But yeah, shout out to you for the podcast. I was like, oh shit. Okay, well, you're right. Fuck battle rap then. Cool, whatever. I'm joking. But nah, thank you. I appreciate you, G. Mr. Hall says Tom Hanks, Green Mile. Yeah, I'm telling you, I think I listed some great names to give the acting GOAT example. You know, Tom Hanks, your Joe Pesci's, your De Niro's, your Denzels, your Wesley Snipes, your there's a list of them, of course. There's a long list of these guys. But DiCaprio got his number one spot in what we just discussed. And I don't know if anybody could ever remove him from that. Not in my lifetime. It is what it is. All right. Shout out to everybody that joined in the chat today. We kicked it off with battle rap. Melly said, what? I am true crime. I am all true crime. I'll try to make sure during the weeks we mix in a little bit more. I like going over in that area today. The David one is kind of like that for me because I never followed him for music. I didn't know him until this whole investigation started. I never heard of him before. Turns out he's a big artist, right? So I'm doing that more from the true crime standpoint for me personally. You know, I don't know if there's any David music fans in here, if y'all knew his or followed his music prior. But yeah, today, right now, I'm about to get up out of here. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to the gym today. I got a lot of work to do. And reason being is because I need to have my day cleared before this Ravens and Chiefs game comes on. By the time that game starts, I'm on Grubhub or, I don't know, DoorDash or something. I'm going to order me some trash food, game day type of food, boxing fight night type of food, maybe some wings and some fries and some milkshakes and shit. I'm going to have me a fat boy day. But yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm just looking forward to this game. I'm going for the Ravens. I'm going for Lamar to get a Super Bowl. I just want him. I feel like he deserves it. He's earned it. He's a spectacular player, spectacular quarterback. I love his style of game. And I just want to see him get a chip. I want to see him get a chip. I want to go to the Super Bowl next year in February and watch Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl. And if you really want to throw me a bonus to that world, karma, energy, put Jay-Z on the halftime show because those rumors have been flying around all year. You know, if you want to give me Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl and Jay-Z at the halftime show, I will be just as much anticipating that the same way I did this past February for Mahomes to possibly make history and see Kendrick at the halftime show. Actually, I would anticipate Lamar. Well, that 3P element for me this year was kind of crazy. But the Kendrick in the midst of the battle halftime show and all that drama, is he going to do Not Like Us? That was big for me. I just had to be there to see that shit. But a Jay-Z halftime show and Lamar, yeah. Nigga said, let's go Broncos. I ain't mad. Listen, I'm not a team guy in the NFL, so I can't shoot at none of y'all. I just want to win who I want to win. I'm a players guy. I become that in the NBA a lot too. You know, I like storylines. Like, I'm not the hugest LeBron fan in the world, but when he was on Miami Heat and every time he was catching his passes and the whole crowd would start booing because you know, the super team getting created and how many teams he said there was, I mean, how many chips he said they was going to win. People was like, he became hated. I was like, what? LeBron don't deserve that, man. I hope he win and get a whole world his ass to kiss. And the second year in Miami, he delivered. And I was like, all right, cool. Now I could go for somebody. There was a time I wanted Giannis to get one. He cleared that for me. I was like, good. I was voting for him. Right now in the NBA, who am I backing? Part of me wants to see Steph get another one and create the big debate between Steph and LeBron. That's not me hating on LeBron's because I'm such an MJ guy over LeBron, but part of me wants to see Steph get another one. I want to see Luka in the finals. It's time. I want to see Luka in the finals. I'm not saying he got to win it right now, but I want to see him in the finals. What other storylines is big for me? I kind of want to see Giannis get a second one to move out of the bracket with some of the newer generation GOATs, like him and like Joker, for example. They got one each, you know. I kind of want to see Giannis get another one. You could argue that Giannis is the best player in over like the last 10 years, damn near, you know, whatever. I want to see him get two. I don't want to see him get stuck with one. It's still dope to get one, but that's how I am. That's how I am. I stopped 15, 20 years ago being a guy that just sticks with a team. I like storylines, and I like to go with certain players and root for them at certain times in their career. So this year is for Lamar, okay? We'll be here tomorrow morning. If they get their ass whooped, we'll talk about it. You know, Mahomes and Mahomes. We'll see. But enjoy y'all day. Enjoy the games. Be safe, y'all. 6 a.m. We back on our regular Monday through Friday schedule, bright and early. I'll see y'all then. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected to block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun.